Okay. Oh, this is going to be really cringy. Hi, my name is Ujao. I am a doctor who's just graduated from the University of Cambridge, and today I'm going to be reading you my personal statement that got me into these universities. I'll put them somewhere here. So before I start, I know that UCAS applications have changing from one big personal statement to 3 different questions. But essentially it stayed the same in the sense that a good personal statement from back then would have answered these 3 core questions. So hopefully this video can give you a bit of an idea about what med schools are looking for. But also if you want to read through my personal statement without watching this video, then I'll include a link to that in the description below. Right. Tracheoesophageal fistula is a birth defect in which the patient is born with a fused trachea and esophagus. Through my work experience in a special care clinic, I was able to see firsthand how conditions such as these affect patients and their family members. As the disorder causes high chances of severe pulmonary complications, the family had to routinely adjust their lifestyle around the necessary medical care. This opened my eyes to how a small disruption during the embryonic stages can lead to life-threatening complications, and allowed me to see how essential modern medicine is to individuals with conditions such as these. The first tip I like to give everyone is to try and get that balance right between seeming a bit pretentious without taking it too far and seeming like an absolute tool. Intro-wise, I think I did well in terms of drawing the reader's attention and being a bit different, avoiding major cliches. I also draw attention to my work experience and show that I've reflected on it, and also went home and did some extra research. Fun fact about my work experience, by the time I was applying, a lot of the hospital work experience were completely full, so I actually ended up doing my work experience at the dentist. Lucky for me, it was a special care clinic, so I focused my personal statement on the pathologies that were outside of dentistry. Through my volunteering work in a nursing home, I had the privilege of talking to and connecting with patients in a care environment. Being involved in the activities team, my role was heavily focused on interacting with the residents and contributing in making their days more engaging. I believe that this is another rewarding aspect of medicine, being able to form positive relationships with patients and make a direct impact in their lives. The experience not only helped me affirm my choice to work within healthcare, but also provided me with a key opportunity to acclimatize myself to such environments. So again, drawing attention to my volunteering work and also making sure to say exactly what I did and reflecting on how that sort of experience makes me a better candidate. And remember, your personal statement is not just about selling yourself as a candidate to these med schools, but to also show that you have conviction and you've thought about a career in medicine. I possess a natural curiosity towards pathways that contribute to creating life, so I am actively seeking out opportunities to extend my knowledge in fields of science and medicine. In particular, I have a keen interest in anatomy and genetics, which I have explored by reading books such as The Epigenetic Revolution. This has enlightened me on how genetic diseases are caused by the expression of genes and not just the presence of them. I found the chapter explaining twin studies and the relevance in studying genetic disorders the most interest, as it explored in detail the study's applications and ethics. It's important to highlight the differences between supercurriculars and extracurriculars. Supercurriculars are things you do outside the classroom that still relate to academia, things like reading books, extra challenges, going to talks and lectures, etc. Things that broaden your understanding of the subject and highlight your interest in them. And extracurriculars are the things you do outside of academia that show your character and transferable skills that you may have gained. In terms of applying to Oxbridge, your extracurriculars aren't going to matter as much, which means that you're going to have to rely a lot more on your supercurriculars to show what sort of character you are. The other thing is that anything you include, you need to be specific, detailed, and also explain why you've included that. A big pitfall that a lot of people fall into is just listing the things that they've done without reflecting or explaining why that makes them a better candidate. Within the classroom, my A-levels have allowed me to further my desire to study medicine and gain transferable skills for the course. AS chemistry and maths courses have allowed me to develop excellent statistical and analytical skills, shaping me into a critical thinker. Due to my genuine interest in these subjects, I have also participated and gained awards in the UKMT and Cambridge Chemistry Challenge, both of which require a high level of problem-solving skills. Studying biology has given me an in-depth understanding of how certain organs function, and gaining insight into their complexity has increased my fascination with anatomy. I personally think that this is my worst paragraph because all of the things I talk about, so chemistry, maths, biology, these are things that pretty much every other candidate would be doing. That being said, I think this is a good example of showing that no matter what you put down, you need to back it up in terms of why this makes you a better candidate. And if you really think about it, there's only two ways you can do that. One, highlighting skills or traits that make you a good candidate, or two, showing reflection or experiences or thought processes that show that you understand what the course is and what the job entails. My extracurricular activities have pushed me outside the confines of the classroom, helping me build character. My experience as head boy in secondary school honed my communication skills, so I am able to easily form rapport with student, teachers, and other staff alike. The role has also helped me refine my natural leadership qualities. Challenges such as Yorkshire Three Peaks and DOV have improved my mental and physical endurance whilst allowing me to polish my teamwork and leadership skills. Partaking in sporting activities up to inter-county standard helped shape me into someone who is resilient and hardworking. Furthermore, balancing my academic studies, enrichment activities, and part-time job has allowed me to gain excellent organizational and time management skills, making me a well-rounded individual who works well under pressure. So I remember when I was applying for Cambridge, I was told not to include extracurriculars at all. I decided that these extracurriculars were what kind of set me apart from the rest of the competition. But I would say that if you're applying to Oxbridge, any extracurricular things that you put down, you should sort of relate that to your course and why that makes you a better candidate. Medicine is a course which requires immense hard work and dedication, leading to a job with long hours and many challenges. However, as someone who enjoys connecting with others and improving their quality of life, I strongly believe that this is a commitment worth making. The course provides a pathway into a career that is incredibly rewarding and filled with a lifetime of learning, which excites and intrigues me. A profession in which I can continue to grow as an individual whilst also making a direct positive impact in other people's lives is a career worth every bit of the effort put in. Aww. What I've done with the conclusion is a bit of a cliche in terms of admitting that medicine is a difficult career, and it is. You don't get extra points for being stoic, but also going on to say that you've reflected on that and it is still something that you want. Like I said, the two main things that you want to do with your personal statement is to show, one, you've thought about the career, you've looked into it, and you know what you're getting into. And two, to show that you're an ideal candidate because of X, Y, and Z. Other things that I'd say you should focus on would be, one, sell yourself. I know for a lot of people that this will be the first real personal statement that they write, and it's a bit uncomfortable bigging yourself up, but it's something that you have to do. Two, try to be the right amount of pretentious and fancy without sounding like an idiot. Three, don't just list, show that you've reflected and write down why what you did matters. And finally, look into the med schools that you're wanting to apply to and do a bit of research into what sort of candidates they're looking for. That's all from me. I wasn't too bad, at least I don't think so. If you've got any questions, feel free to reach out or comment down below. And for those of you applying this year, good luck.